super excited for today's video because we are going on a little bit of a field trip. We are going to be driving all around Michigan to find some free little libraries. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and now that it's spring, I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity. Although today is like super gloomy and disgusting and rainy. But first, I wanted to fill this tote bag with some books that I no longer want, because if you've never heard of a free little library, essentially they're basically like little houses. They almost look like birdhouses but bigger, and the concept is that you kind of like take a book and leave a book kind of a thing. So I definitely am hoping, crossing my fingers, that I can find some good books, but then also I do have a couple of stacks of books that like I just don't want anymore, so we're gonna do some tradesies. These are ones that I'm keeping, but these two piles are the ones that I think I'm gonna get rid of. I'm definitely not gonna take all of these today because I kind of want to like do this more than once with different free little libraries, but I do think I'm gonna take like 5 or 6 or so. I don't know, we'll see. I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of like grab a few books at a time and we'll go through them, pick which ones we want to bring, yada yada yada. The first book that I have is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and this book is basically what got me back into reading. I've always been like a really big reader as like a kid and things like that, and into my early 20s, but then I just kind of like stopped reading randomly in like my mid 20s. And didn't read for almost, or if not, a decade, which is crazy. But then a couple of years ago, Colleen Hoover was literally everywhere. Like I could not watch a single person on social media without somebody mentioning one of Colleen Hoover's books. Specifically, this one though is the one that I saw popping up a lot. And I'm gonna be honest, after I read this, I was a little confused as to why there was so much hype. It was an easy, quick read, and I did enjoy the book, but I didn't really think it was anything like spectacular. So yeah, so there's always going to be that like sentiment of like appreciation for this book because it got me back into reading. It got me interested in spice. I'm a big spice reader now, but this book in particular I don't really care about. So I think I'm definitely gonna leave this one in one of the boxes. I feel a little weird like leaving a spicy book in a free library because someone might not know what they're getting into, but and then the next one that I have is Serpent and Dove, which I absolutely love this series, and I'm really excited to leave this one in a free little library because I'm definitely going to. The only reason I'm getting rid of this book is because I repurchased it, the entire series, in hardcover, so I don't need this paperback anymore. And this is another one where I literally am just getting rid of this because I repurchased a different version of this book. I got still a paperback, but I got the UK covers, which I don't have Caraval on hand, but UK cover looks very similar to this one. This is the third book in the series, so I got all of those in the UK paperbacks, so I don't need this US paperback anymore. I definitely want to bring this one. This one is a Goosebumps book. I purchased this from a thrift store or like a used bookstore a while back, and I did a video on it, kind of doing like a childhood favorites to adult kind of journey through reading kind of thing. I'll leave that video linked down below if you're interested, but I got this book, paid like $4 or $5 for it, which is crazy because it took me like all of 2 seconds to read. But anyway, now that I'm done with that video, I really don't need this book anymore. And then I have a couple of books that I got from like blind dates with books from Etsy that I purchased, like again, very early on into me getting back into reading a couple of years ago. And I did read both of these and I did enjoy them. This one I actually really did like, but the book itself is just very loved. I don't mind wearing down my books myself, but it does kind of annoy me that like I spent like $20 on this like blind date with a book and it's very used, you know? I do actually like highly recommend this book. It was really good. It's basically about a girl who does like a game show of dares over social media. They actually made a movie out of it as well, and I like watched that movie right after I read this book, which was really fun. So I liked the experience of reading this, but I just don't care about this book itself. And then the other one that I have is I Am Watching You, which is another thriller. This one's basically about a woman who saw something suspicious, and I honestly don't really remember. So I read it, I thought it was okay, but I don't really care to keep it. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. And I think that's gonna be enough for today. How many do we have? 1, 2, I'm not gonna count this one in the count. 3, 4, 5. I kind of want to bring 6. So I think I'm gonna grab one more and we're gonna do Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know a ton of people loved this book. It's literally why I purchased it, but more so because Amazon was coming out with a series of this and I thought that would be fun to kind of like do a video. I also did a video on this one where I read the book and then watch the series. So I'll leave that link down below as well. And again, I did enjoy this book, but I don't really care to keep it. We're gonna get rid of that one as well. So the books that we're gonna be bringing: Goosebumps, Daisy Jones and the Six, I Am Watching You, Nerve, Caraval, Serpent and Dove, and then Ugly Love. This is the outfit that I'm wearing. This is a shirt that I just got from Halara. which is super freaking cute. And then I have these like ripped oversized jeans that I got from Cider. And then my platform shoes, which is actually perfect that these are tall because I am a very short person and they're too long for me. Also, we are going to be getting Crumbl Cookies on the way home as well, which I'm very excited for. I haven't gotten those in so long, but the, like running out of breath. The flavors this week actually seem kind of fun. There's like a French toast one and some other ones that I can't remember. But yeah, anyway, let's go. The first stop that we have on our little adventure today is actually at my local library, and I was very surprised upon opening it to find a big old stack of cassette tapes. And surprisingly, I actually was very tempted to take a couple of them because a couple of them had very kind of like 80s-esque type of artwork, and I love a good 80s aesthetic when it comes to home decor, so I thought it'd be cool to kind of make some sort of art piece or just like hang them on the wall or something. I don't really know, which is why I didn't end up actually taking any because I didn't really know what to do with them. But it was a fun little surprise to see something aside from books in the free little library. And speaking of the books, the majority of the books in this particular location were mostly like the mass market type of books, and I don't really care for those, so I didn't end up taking anything from this box, but we still did leave a couple of books. We left Serpent and Dove and the Goosebumps book. For the second location, I had to be super speedy because it was right off of a main road, so we were literally parked in the street. And this one I specifically picked out because of the name of it, Nerdy Birdie, and it very appropriately had a super cute little chicken head doorknob. And as far as the actual books went, the majority of them were kind of these like big skinny like kids books, but there were a couple of options in here. We had Where'd You Go, Bernadette, and then there was also Edvika and the Hollywood Wives, which I actually already have. It's a book of the month book that I got months ago, so there wasn't too many options, but I did still end up grabbing one book. And then this is the book that I ended up leaving behind. This is called Catching Alice. I basically panic grabbed this when I left the house because I felt like I needed to take one more book with me. And then our third location, I never found. It was called like Grammy's something box. So again, it had a cute name, so I wanted to try it out, but I couldn't find it. According to Google, it was supposedly in the middle of these trees. So we never found location number 3. This is like really putting me to the test as far as like filming like in public. I know it's like not public, it's in front of people's houses, which is honestly worse. I would rather film in public, because I feel so awkward just like filming the front of people's houses, and like there's like 5 cars in front of the next the next house that we have to go to. Let's see. Okay. This one also looks like it's, ooh, I've heard a lot of good things about this book. Let's see. I kind of like the cover of this one. Oops, good grief. I'm dropping things. Here's a couple of books that look kind of cute. A Good Day to Pie. Looks like she's gonna like murder someone. Competitive Baking Takes a Murderous Turn. That sounds like it could be kind of cute. What do we have up here? This one has like 2 little shelves. I don't think I want anything there. Here's the 2 books that we're leaving. And now onto our last and final location. I definitely saved aesthetically the best for last. This is the most adorable free little library I think I've ever seen. It basically is Snoopy on his little red house. I can't get over how cute this is. And I will say that the description online said that this one was geared more toward children. So going into this one, I wasn't really expecting to find anything. And I totally wish I had have saved the Goosebumps book for this box. But I was so surprised at how many romance books were in this box. It was like half kids books, half romance novels, which is a weird combination. Sadly, I didn't find anything in this box either, although, again, I was kind of expecting not to because I thought it was going to be full of kids' books. But we did still, of course, leave a couple of books. I left Caraval, which is a YA fantasy, so I thought it kind of fit the theme of the box. And then I also left I Am Watching You, which is a thriller, which totally doesn't fit the theme of the box, but hopefully someone will enjoy it anyway. Also, they have this really cute cat statue. We just had lunch. We had Del Taco for Kevin's first time ever having Del Taco and my first time having it in like over 10 years. It was so good. But now we have Crumbl Cookies to try and I'm very excited. The flavors this week look really fun. We have a toffee, which that one's kind of plain, and then there's like a peanut butter chocolate one, a French toast, and then a pistachio one, which I'm a little nervous about that because typically I don't like fake, I like pistachios, but I don't like that like fake almond and pistachio flavor. It kind of, and cherry, like they all taste the same to me and they all are not very good, but we'll see. It looks really cute. I'm gonna try this one first. This is the toffee. Ooh, look at that. A little glob of toffee in there. Here you go. That tastes really good. Yeah, that one's a win. That tastes so good. Here's the pistachio. How adorable is that? It's got like a little cone. It's called like a Muddy Buddy cone or something like that. Do you want to bite into that? See what that's in there? Like chocolate? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, the cone just has chocolate in it. But yeah, and it's got some pistachios. It's got little pistachio crumble on top. And I think it's supposed to like kind of look like a pie. I thought it was going to be like filled kind of like a pie, but it's just a really thick cookie. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. It doesn't have that bad of a pistachio flavor, but it does. The initial bite is like, ew, and then it kind of fades away and it just tastes like vanilla pudding, honestly. It's not so bad the second bite. I do really like the texture of that topping. It's like really whipped and tastes like vanilla pudding with a slight pistachio flavor. So here's the French toast one. That is super freaking adorable. Bready. Oh, I was gonna try to like scoop this, but it's not really.
This one had cake.
Yeah, this one is very, very cakey and very crumbly. I'm like making a giant mess. The little glob up here is supposed to be like butter. It's like buttercream frosting. And it just tastes like a buttercream frosting. I'm a little disappointed in this one. It's a very meh kind of cookie. I don't really like super cakey cookies. And that's what this is, basically. With a really heavy buttercream, which I also don't really like because they're usually very sweet. I actually like the pistachio one, I think, more than that one. We'll give our ratings at the end. Okay, last but not least, this is like a peanut butter one. It's got like peanut butter chips, I think, inside of a chocolate cookie. Immediate yes. I definitely couldn't eat very much of that chocolate one. I do feel like Crumbl does really well with their chocolate, and I'm not like a huge like chocolate on chocolate kind of person, but that was really good. And I do feel like every time we get a chocolate one, I'm always like surprised by how much I like it. So as far as my rating, I think the toffee one is my favorite.
Yeah.
Then the chocolate, then the pistachio, then the French toast. Unfortunately, I was like the most excited for the French toast, so that's kind of disappointing. But what's your rating?
Toffee's number one for sure. And I think it's kind of tied for the pistachio and the chocolate.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. They're just like such different flavors, but like I like them kind of equally. I'm really surprised about the pistachio. The first bite I wasn't so sure about, but that flavor kind of goes away a little bit. So you kind of have the same ratings as me then?
Yeah, and the French toast, it's not bad.
No, it's just kind of plain.
It's also not a cookie.
Yeah, it definitely is
cake.
more like cake. It tastes good, it's just kind of anticlimactic.
Looks better than it tastes.
Yeah, it looks better than it tastes. So anyway, that is our Crumbl cookie taste test. We're gonna go home now and I'll probably end up filming tomorrow, like the haul of the books that I got in the free libraries. I didn't get a whole lot, but I definitely gave away more books than I got back, if that makes sense, but I got some good ones, so I'll see you guys at home. It's the day after our little adventure yesterday at the free little libraries, and we are sitting on the floor because little Mr. Sid over here just looks way too adorable. He's very cuddly in the morning and at night, but like during the day, he's a ghost. He doesn't exist. So the fact that he's in here and hanging out with me, I just like did not have the heart to move him off this chair. So little Mr. Sid is gonna hang out with us while I do my haul from yesterday, which I am so excited for. I did only get 3 books, but I'm pretty excited. So originally I had picked out 5 different free little libraries to go to. As you saw, we only ended up going to 4 out of the 5 because one of them in the middle just like didn't exist. Which if you go to freelittleLibrary.org or .com, I'll have it on the screen, you can put in your zip code and it'll tell you like all of the free little libraries that are around you, and a lot of them actually have pictures of the little library, so you kind of know what to look out for. And a lot of those little libraries have like little blurbs by the person that like started that free little library. Initially I did only pick out ones that had pictures, so I actually knew kind of like what I was looking for, but that one was kind of again along the route, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Didn't exist, or at least I couldn't find it. So anyway, the very first location that we went to again was at my local library, the one that I go to all the time, and that one unfortunately didn't really have any books that I wanted to grab. And then the next one I think is where I got our first book, which is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I feel like I saw a lot of people reading this last year and really loving it, so I'm excited. Also, I'm very much in the mindset of like trying to find summer books now that like the weather's finally starting to warm up, and I feel like this is like the perfect summer read. I don't actually know what this is about, but it just gives summer vibes. Like it's got flamingos and palm trees and things, and then it says The Unhoneymooners, and usually when you go on a honeymoon, I think like tropical destination in the summer. Olive Torres is used to being the unlucky twin. From inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff, her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister, Amy, is an eternal champion. She even managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man, and her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Olive braces herself for wedding hell, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the only people who aren't affected are Olive and Ethan, of course. Suddenly there's a free honeymoon up for grabs, and Olive will be damned if Ethan gets to enjoy paradise solo. So this sounds like a lot of fun. This is basically about 2 people that do not like each other that are going to go on a honeymoon together. I'm excited for this one. So this is going to be one of my summer reads for this year. And then the next 2 books that we have are from our 4th location, because again, our 3rd one didn't exist or was hidden in some trees. And then our 5th and final, the Snoopy, although it was very cute, I didn't really find anything. There was a Sudoku book in one of the free little libraries. I think it was either the second or last, and that has kind of haunted me a little bit because I love Sudoku, and I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll grab that, and I totally forgot because I was filming and things. Oh wait, I think this one was from the second one, and this is one of the ones that I grabbed from the 4th one. Either way, I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, the next book that I have is Where Do You Go, Bernadette. This is another one that I know absolutely nothing about, but I have seen this cover in many places, online, in stores, and it always intrigues me. I just never pick it up. I think this is kind of like an older book, originally published in hardcover in August 2012, and then the paperback, this book, was published in 2013. So yeah, definitely an older book, but again, I've seen it all over the place and I'm intrigued. I think the cover looks really cute. I have like a fluff on my nose that is driving me insane. When 15-year-old B claims a family trip to Antarctica as a reward for perfect grades, her fiercely intelligent but agoraphobic mother, Bernadette, throws herself into preparations for the trip. First off, what 15-year-old is winning a trip to Antarctica? That is insane. But also, I don't know what agoraphobia is. Fear of places and situations that might cause panic, helplessness, or embarrassment. Agoraphobia is an anxiety disorder that often develops after 1 or more panic attacks. So basically, it's a fear of any situation that causes fear, I guess, or that you're afraid of. Anyway, worn down by years of trying to live the Seattle life she never wanted, Bernadette is on the brink of a meltdown. As disaster follows disaster, she disappears, leaving her family to pick up the pieces, which is exactly what B does, weaving together emails, invoices, and school memos to reveal the secret past that Bernadette has been hiding for decades. Where'd You Go, Bernadette is an ingeniously entertaining novel about a family coming to terms with who they are and the power of a daughter's love for her imperfect mother. This seems like such a little twisted story. So basically, this 15-year-old, this genius 15-year-old, wins her family a trip to Antarctica because of her grades. The mother freaks out and disappears, and her daughter has to like figure out, her 15-year-old daughter has to figure out where the F her mom went. and why. As long as this is done in like a humorous way, I think I could like it, but also that synopsis kind of scares me a little bit because I feel like when books are too kind of like heavy or talk about kind of family issues, I don't typically tend to enjoy them. So we'll see how this one goes. And then the last one that I got, I have never seen this book before, but it intrigued me so much because of the cover. So this one is called A Good Day to Pie, and it's got like a housewife with a like rolling pin hiding behind her back, kind of like in a threatening way, like she's gonna like knock someone out. So I'm intrigued, and I did kind of like breeze through the synopsis while I was at the Free Little Library because I didn't want to like take something if I really had no intention of reading it. And from what I gathered, it's about kind of like a pie baking contest or something that turns deadly or something like that. So it says, everyone loves a good pie, but how about a pie that's as deadly as it is delectable? Daisy bakes a little murder into every pie she creates, and she and her dog Zoe deliver them to the town's worst cads. Now Daisy's entered a televised elimination style competition and has a shot at $100K in prize money, but she still has a murder pie to deliver between filming. In a completely unexpected turn of events, she discovers that her intended victim is one of the competition judges, and he turns up dead before the pie even arrives. Now Daisy has to solve the murder, even if it means working a bit of magic, before someone calls foul play and exposes her murderous secret. For anyone who's ever fantasized about the world of competitive baking, a la The Great British Bake Off, which I freaking love that show, or has ever dreamed of getting back at that guy who wronged them years ago, Pop's culinary cozy series is as alluring as a perfectly baked pie. Okay, this series is actually called Pies Before Guys, which I kind of love. So we have Magic Lies and Deadly Pies, which is the first one, A Good Day to Pie, which is the second one, and then the third one is The Last to Pie. And the third one is actually being released this month, so this is actually a new series, potentially. When was this published? I just assumed, because I've never seen anyone talk about it, that this was going to be like an old book. Yeah, 2023. This literally just came out last year. I caught myself a brand new book. That's pretty cool. But anyway, those are all 3 books that I got on our little adventure to some Free Little Libraries. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've wanted to do this for quite some time now, but honestly, like the idea of like walking up to a stranger's house and like filming it was just so weird to me, and it kind of like made me put it off for quite some time. But I literally had so much fun, and it didn't end up bothering me nearly as much as I thought it was going to. The idea of things 9 times out of 10 are way scarier than actually doing them. So anyway, point being, I was a little nervous to do this video, but I'm really glad that I finally did, and I definitely want to do it again. So if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want me to do more. I'm definitely going to go again. It's just whether I'm going to film it. So let me know if you liked this video. And yeah, I think that's everything that I have to say. I hope you guys have had the most amazing of days, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye!